Hey, Brian. Will Anderson just told us he's a car and he tries to keep his engine finely tuned. I was curious, what kind of car is Will Anderson? I thought he was more of a tank, but is he a Porsche, a Jaguar? What is he?
What kind of car is Will? Will is more like a dually truck, man. One of those big old mud tire driving trucks. I can't really explain it, but he one of them guys who, what I'm saying, you can get real dirty, get himself up and just, get ready to do what he did all over again. So, that's what you use those big dually trucks for off road, type of stuff. So.
Next, we'll hear from Charlie Potter. Charlie?
Hey, Brian. You had a couple of guys in the offensive line step up with the guys being out with injuries. Just how did you think that unit played, and how did you see a guy like J.C. Latham take advantage of the opportunity he got?
I mean, there's been the story with our, offensive unit all year, with guys going down and guys having to step up. So, with JC coming in the game and, he did a lot of great things for us, during the game. And, I was just, happy for him. I told him during the game, I was just like, this is your moment, don't turn back, just do everything you got to do to help this team win. And I felt like JC did that in the game.
Next, we'll hear from Nick Kelly. Nick?
Brian, for last game, obviously it's last game, and this game is a new game, but what kinds of things do you guys want to replicate offensively that worked last time?
Being real dominant up front. That's the main thing for our offense. Be the most physical team up front. And that'll just open up everything for us in our offense. The running game. Just stay consistent. Give the quarterback time to make plays in the passing game. Just really just being the most dominant team up front.
Next, we'll hear from Michael Casagrande. Michael?
Yeah, Brian, I'm talking to Will. He was talking about kind of putting the previous game with Georgia in the past. What's the balance for you in terms of flushing some of the success of that game and the lessons you learned from it to try to take advantage of that for the second time?
I mean, with us playing on one time already, we could assume that they would come out and try to, hit us with the same things that they played us with the first time. But, we got to expect them to come out with some new things, and we just got to be able to adjust to it. So, I don't feel like we'll see the same thing we seen from them the first time we played them. I feel like they'll come out like a completely different team, in this national championship game. So we can't get, caught up on, what we seen them doing in the first game. We got to prepare for this week.
Next, we have Joseph Goodman. Joseph?
Yeah, Brian, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering what it was like having Coach Pendry back, before the semifinal game, and did that contribute to, I guess, the physical nature of the game plan?
I mean, not really. He was still attending. Like, he was just only back for one practice. So, all the other days that he wasn't at practice, we still had to go out and prepare and, practice hard, so it really didn't make a difference with him not being there or him being there. We still had to go out and, prepare, the game plan the same way.
Next will be Chip Howard. Yep.
Brian, last year when you were watching Najee Harris, it looked like he kind of turned it up at the end of the season and was a big difference maker. What did you learn from that run last year that he had?
I mean, just knowing how critical these games are. It's win or go home, and when it's all on the line, you just got to go out there and just give it your all to make sure you and the team that's got to go home, and as long as you giving everything you got in your power to help this team win, everything else will just fall in place for you. And that's kind of what I saw Najee do, and and I'm trying to kind of pick up where he left off at.
Next will be Lyndon Blake. Lyndon?
Can you hear me now?
Mhm.
Okay, we're good. Hey, so growing up in Tuscaloosa, what was it like watching Alabama play in national championships? Do you have any memories that stick out to you? Any games that were your favorite to watch?
I mean, just watching Alabama play in national championships as a kid, it was just like, the biggest college football game you can ever watch. And anybody who truly love, football or just sports, just love watching their favorite team playing, national championship games. And the one game that probably stuck out to me the most was the first one I got a chance to watch, and that was the game versus Texas and Pasadena, Mark Ingram Heisman year. It was just the first time I got to see Alabama play in such, big game like that, and just watching them dominate that performance, just really stuck out to me.
Next will be Daniel Tortora.
Brian, just what you can say about the impact that Nick Saban's had on your life and just, from the recruiting point to where you are right now, what he's done for you and how he's commanded the best out of you.
I mean, with Coach Saban, he just always, he always, had faith in me, since day one, since the day he recruited me. He trusted that I was going to come here, just do everything I needed to do to be successful. And just since my time here, I can say he's done all of that. He's done everything in his power to just help me, just continue to grow, on and off the field. And I can say that, he held his word with, everything he said he was going to do for me to help me be successful.
Next will be Steve Hummer. Steve?
Yes, hi, Brian. How surprised are you to know that you guys are still an underdog to a team that you beat fairly handily a month ago, and do you think that might be another little boost for you all?
I mean, being an underdog is, it's just one of those normal feelings, Sometimes we always feel like the underdog even when we, expected to win a game, just a mindset that our team have, just a mindset that our team live with, just always having that underdog mindset. So I feel like, we'll be motivated. We'll come out, with the underdog mentality, we'll be ready to play.
Brooks Austin. Brooks?
Yeah, Brian, I'm just curious. This year, your half of your career statistical carries and production have come in one singular year after 5 years at Alabama. So I guess my question is, how did you mentally and physically prepare to carry the workload this year for Alabama? And my second question would be, how did you mentally handle those years of knowing that your opportunity will eventually come?
Obviously, I knew that the workload was going to increase tremendously, so I had to prepare for that in the off season. I had to spend extra time, training and, just conditioning my body, preparing myself to play a season that, I really didn't know what to expect. I just knew that I was going to, be expected to do a lot more. So I had to, kind of put myself in position to do that. And from the following years, just, as the years go by, I just felt like I couldn't waste that time, just because I wasn't playing a lot or on the field as much as I wanted to be. I still had to train. I still had to prepare the same way as if my opportunity was going to come at any moment. And, with this being my opportunity now, I just felt like I prepared myself for it over the years by, working hard and just still training hard.
Next, we'll hear from Mark Weiser. Mark?
Brian, what's the dynamic now of having this rematch without John Mechie available? Obviously an important piece of your offense. And what's the challenge for you to run as effectively against Georgia as you did in the semifinals?
With John being down, obviously it created more opportunity for the younger guys, and I feel like they've been doing a great job. So, I just feel like we can kind of plug in for Mechie, where we need him with some young guys we got on the team, and for me, just continue to just protect Bryce, give him time in the pocket, give him time to step up and use his arm to make plays, and just be real firm in protection, continue to be firm in pass protection, which will allow Bryce to get more time, where he can make more plays of his own.
Next will be Ralph Russo. Ralph?
Good afternoon, Brian. You mentioned sort of your path and how you had to be patient to get the spotlight. When you talk to recruits, guys coming onto campus for visits and things along those lines, maybe guys who are your friends, how do you tell them, or maybe how would you describe to them the experience of, even though maybe you don't play as much at Alabama at first, you're still getting better? Do you impart that to people to kids who are considering Alabama, that, hey, like, your patience will pay off because even if you're not playing, you're still improving?
Well, sometimes I had to explain to some of these recruits that everything is not going necessarily be handed to you, but everybody has their own story. Some people have just different opportunities. Some guys come in and they're granted the opportunity after their freshman or sophomore year. Some guys like myself had to wait 4 years beside 4 or 5 great players before we really get the opportunity to play. But everybody's story is just different. But regardless of when your opportunity gonna be granted to you, you still gotta be prepared for it. Like when they open the doors for it, if you're not ready for the opportunity and you didn't prepare yourself for it, then you waste your time complaining. So I just spent less time complaining about when I was gonna get an opportunity, and just spent more time training and working towards what I was gonna do when I did get the opportunity.
All right. And our final question for Brian comes from Chris Lowe. Chris?
Hey, Brian. Coach Saban said earlier that he felt like, you never want to lose a game, but the A&M loss was probably good for you guys in a way that it just sort of propels you guys to play a lot better, closer to your standard. What along those lines did you see after that loss that helped you get to where you guys are right now?
I could say I saw it more in just, in practice and how we prepared. Like, after that loss, guys started to reflect on, how they prepared that week and all the things they could have done or, could have done better, just possibly prepare themselves for the game, which would have helped us win the game. And, guys just had to start preparing better, just working harder and, just spending more time in the film room, just continue to learn and continue to get better, so that we don't, let those same mistakes come up in the next game, that affected us in the game versus A&M.